it's Anita from Daydreams of Quilts. Today I would like to show you some quick free motion quilting techniques that you can try on your quilts, and hopefully they'll be helpful to you. A lot of people have taken a survey over on my blog and said that they need help with free motion quilting. So we'll start today with stippling, which is probably the easiest and most common form of free motion quilting. So set your machine up with a quilting foot and use machingers, which are quilting gloves, and they're really grippy. Mine are old, so they're dirty now, but they grip the fabric. They take a lot of pressure off your body, and you need to drop your feed dogs so that you can slide your fabric around freely. And just put your needle into the fabric. Get your hands on either side of the area that you're quilting and spread your fingers out for good grip and control. And then you just need to apply even pressure to the presser foot and even movement of the fabric under the needle. So I'm going to start with stippling. Stippling is just sort of a meandering, sort of looks like jigsaw puzzle shapes. Try to change the direction of where you're sewing so that you get variety. I tend to have a habit of just going up and down, and so I have to remember to sort of move horizontally as well. And when I baste, like obviously this is not a quilt, but when I baste a full quilt, I just spray baste it with 505 basting spray. I don't pin it because then I have to keep stopping and taking pins out as I'm quilting, and I find that doesn't work for me. So to make quilting easier, I suggest 505 basting spray. Make sure if you're using that you use it in a well ventilated area and don't breathe in the glue, obviously. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to pebbling, and pebbling is just like it sounds. It's just little pebbles on the quilt. So you just make circular motions, and from each time that you end a circle, you just start a new circle, and you can come back the way you went in if you get stuck. Or you can try to keep a flow going and just keep going around the circle. And just make them different sizes, because just like on a riverbed or a beach, you would see different sizes of pebbles. They wouldn't all be the same. And they don't have to be perfectly round either, because in nature they're not all perfectly round. Okay, so then another technique that I like to use a lot is ribbons. So I'm going to just move over, oh, my thread didn't cut there, and make a ribbon for you. So the way I usually do a ribbon, and I quite often do them on a border, is I make a loop this way and then a loop this way and then come back down the middle. And I find sometimes before I even start quilting, if I trace what I want to do with my finger on the quilt top, it just sort of sets it in my mind how I want to move the quilt. Then I just go down again, following the first shape. And I keep going along that edge of the previous shape. And then down the middle. And you can make your feather curly, like see I'm sort of going off to the right here. It can be a feather that curves to the right or the left. If you want to come back, you can just change your loop a little bit to get going back towards the left. And then to finish off, I usually just do one extra loop at the bottom like this. And there's the feather. So I hope that this is helpful to you and that it will help you be more confident with free motion quilting. Some other tips that I have would be roll your quilt, the part that's going through the throat of the machine, roll that up like a log so that it's out of the way, and have some support around your machine to take the weight of the quilt. I usually put a chair right beside me here so that it can hold some of the weight of the quilt, and I hold the quilt on my lap as well. So I hope that's helpful, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.